Welcome to Journey to Joy Live, a podcast to promote wellness, resilience, and inspire joy. Be empowered to balance your mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health while providing mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community. I'm your host, Dr. If Joy, and I'm here to help you transform life's challenges into opportunities for joy. Let's begin the journey together. All right, we are in episode 146, the episode you've been waiting for. Your mental health is under attack. How to fight back against political stress. The stress that we literally cannot avoid. We can't control it. Most stress we can't avoid or can't control, but we definitely can't avoid or control the political stress out there. Have you been more irritable lately? More tired? Have you been doom scrolling longer than you meant to? Snapping faster or waking up already tense? It's not random. Your nervous system is clearly overloaded. It's overloaded by all the stress from day to day and also maybe about what's going on between constant war footage that you might see, ongoing political instability, election year rhetoric, Epstein found discourse, flooding your timelines, headlines designed to trigger your outrage. Let's not forget ICE. ICE just shows up anywhere. And maybe they're helping with reducing the time of TSA in Atlanta. Maybe. So, yeah, cool. But then they have this negative connotation. Either way, there's so much out there. Your brain has been in this low-grade state of alarm if you have been succumbed to the political stress. So today, I need you to hear this clearly. It's not weakness that you're succumbing to it. It's physiology. It's mental health. It's wellness or lack thereof. So let's really define what's happening here. Political stress, political anxiety, it's that chronic psychological or physiological response to ongoing political events, the media exposure that feel threatening, overwhelming, or uncontrollable. And it's really easy to go down that rabbit hole too. It happens when the stakes are high, you got these constant breaking news. This is happening now. Now this from the White House. And there's little feeling of personal control, like literally things happening in the world. You can't control what's out there. But of course, today I'm here to talk about what you can control in your mind. But the exposure is constant. Your identity feels like it's impacted, especially if it has to do with your race, your safety, your rights, your future, right? And, when it comes to ICE and immigration and racial trauma, racial stress, and the stress of like, am I going to get kicked out of the country? There's literally people feeling that way too. So you're literally physically and from just a security standpoint threatened. Of course, you're going to be stressed out. Of course, your mental health is going to be under attack. Your whole safety and home is under attack in that case. So this isn't about being dramatic. A lot of people feel that when they're stressed out, it's weakness. When their mental health turns into mental illness, that they're dramatic or that they're weak. This is your nervous system responding to a repeated perceived threat. Whether it's attacking you individually or your family or a family member or someone in your community or just watching it on the news, and maybe it's not affecting you personally, it is affecting you from your mental health if you are constantly exposed to it and just not really having boundaries as to how often you are exposing yourself to the political uproar that is going on. So your brain, it doesn't distinguish well between a threat in your room and a threat on your screen. You might look at the TV and your brain's like, as if you're being attacked right now by a bear. You're literally responding to something happening, whether it's directly happening to you in the room or on the screen. So when you repeatedly consume crisis, war footage, corruption scandals, political outrage, violent rhetoric, your amygdala activates. Been talking about this amygdala lately. Cortisol rises, sleep gets disrupted, your body becomes hypervigilant. Now you're looking on it. I've spoken to patients who literally don't want to go outside because they feel like when they see a plane or hear a plane, maybe a bomb's going to drop. People are feeling on edge and hypervigilant right now because of what's happening. Here's the truth: you cannot consume crisis all day and expect to be calm at night. You just can't. Political stress is different from general anxiety because it feels like collective, uncontrollable, and just constant. That uncontrollable piece, that is the piece that causes so much stress and impact to your body, and that high alarm, that amygdala activation that's got you constantly on edge. It's not just what if something bad happens, it's something bad is happening somewhere all the time. Because then that incorporates some guilt for you because you're like, oh, I'm doing just fine. I'm planning vacations. I'm eating just fine. And then somebody over here just got bombed out and they have no life anymore, no family, or no place to stay. So then you've got that guilt because you're constantly consuming all the time about something bad happening somewhere, even if it isn't impacting you personally. And for many in the Black community, I mean, it carries a compounded weight, right? We've got our historical trauma, system injustices, racial trauma, policy implications that feel like it's personal. It is personal for a lot of us. So when you feel on edge or cynical or exhausted or numb, you're not just overreacting. Your body is responding to this chronic exposure. Let's talk about what that looks like in real time. You might be experiencing the physical signs. The physical signs could be headaches, jaw clenching, digestive issues, disruptive sleep, constant fatigue. And these are the things that you might experience with any day to day stress. But maybe you're experiencing it with political stress. Because a lot of times we may not identify that it's political stress that's causing us that way. We might say, oh gosh, what's been going on with me lately? Things have been fine with my own personal finances. My family's been fine. My marriage has been fine, but you just don't really realize the trigger. And the trigger is the news. The trigger is what's going on in politics. Of course, you have emotional signs like the irritability, feeling hopeless, emotionally numb, or rage scrolling. Now your whole social media algorithm is all about the Epstein files, all about ICE, and all about anything political. And you're just like, I'm just so upset. You're making comments to everybody and they're commenting to you. And now you're more upset because now it's really personal because people are responding to what you're saying. So therefore, that leads into the behavioral signs of your response to stress. So you're obsessively checking what's going on, what's the update, you're arguing online, you're withdrawing from people because you're not feeling like talking about it because now they're all talking about it because you've been talking about it, or even avoiding the news completely because you just feel so overwhelmed. So here's your first self-check. When was the last time you felt internally settled? What changed? Because your mental health is not failing, it's under pressure. So we've got to talk about how you can fight back without becoming uninformed. I mean, I've said it multiple times that I don't watch the news like that. I mean, my husband watches the news like that, but he doesn't seem internally conflicted when he listens or watches the news. He seems pretty mentally well, where he's just kind of keeping up to date and staying informed. Me, I'm just like, I know how that impacts me, but I'll take a dose when I need to. And like, for instance, I'm going on a cruise, an international cruise in Europe next week. Yay. I'm excited. But, people who find out about that, they're just like, well, wait a minute, you can't travel to Europe. The airspace has been closed down to US citizens. You can't do that. I'm like, you sound overly alarmed. I don't know about that because I've been calling the cruise line a couple of times saying, hey, is our cruise okay? We still working? This is still okay? They're like, yeah. So then I'm like, what is this person talking about? The airspace is closed down to US citizens. The person was wrong. The airspace in certain countries is closed down to the US military. That's not the US citizens. I can still fly into Italy and get on my cruise. Yeah. And have fun. Your life doesn't have to stop just because there's something going on. It's chronic, not acute. It's uncontrollable. It's amplified in your algorithms. It's everywhere. It isn't just stress. It's a chronic threat activation, but it doesn't have to affect you and your joy and your trips and your actions that you take. Because there's going to be some time where trauma and stress get to you and it just can't paralyze you and what you want to do for your life and your plans, especially if the airspace is still open. As long as I can fly, I'm gonna fly. So, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna fight back? How are you gonna fight back? How have you been fighting back? Let's create a news window rule. So have 2 intentional check-ins per day. If you really need to stay informed, what you do? I'm not here to tell you to be like me and just don't watch the news. I'm a psychiatrist, so I kind of learn the news from my patients who are anxious about it. They're going to tell me anyway. Plus, I have to protect my mental health. So, literally, no thanks to stress when I'm not working. Anyhow, so I don't feel the need to have these 2 check-ins a day. But if you are a person that is constantly looking at the news, you got to stop that. 2 intentional check-ins per day, a maximum of 15 minutes. You are not going to stay on there longer than 15 minutes. You're not watching the news before 9 a.m. You're not watching the news after 8 p.m. So you are not going to wake up straight to the news, and you are not going to watch the news right before bed. No news before 9 a.m., no news after 8 p.m. Turn off the push alerts because, yay, we have a wonderful phone that just says, Trump has done this. Yeah, turn off those push alerts. You are not uninformed because you are regulated. So don't just feel like, oh, but I got to be informed. You can still regulate it. Regulating when you watch the news or inform yourself about the news doesn't make you uninformed. You're just informed during certain times a day. Trust me, whatever happens after that, from between that 9 to 9:15 window that you're looking at the news, whatever happens in between, you'll catch up with it at 8 p.m. or before 8 p.m. because you're going to watch it at 7:45. You're going to be done by 8 p.m. and you're going to go to sleep. And whatever happens overnight, you'll catch it the next morning. It's okay. Especially if it's impacting you the way I've said. So you have to have trauma-informed consumption. When viewing war, violent content, I'm good. I'm good. I can barely, well, I do like political thrillers. I love political thrillers. So like Paradise, Greenland. I do love that. I'm watching on movies, but it's not a political thriller. Well, I guess it's a real life political thriller, but you're like literally watching the news. But you got to limit that. Pause before clicking. It's like when you see some big old headline, pause before clicking. Ask yourself, do I need this? Do I need to see this? Do I really need to see this person get assassinated online live? Do I need to see that? So avoid graphic imagery loops. Avoid that. How about you just not look? And of course, this is for the person who this is affecting, impacting, and attacking your mental health. If you're a person where it doesn't affect you, sure, keep going. But just make sure it's not affecting you. Maybe it is and you don't realize it. So be trauma informed with your consumption. Is this going to impact me? Do I need to see this? And replace your doom scrolling with doom walking. You just sitting there doom scrolling. Walk. Stand up. Walk 5 minutes. Breathe slow. With longer exhales. Get on the treadmill. Go for a run. Go for a swim. Do some Pilates. Eat something healthy. Get off that phone. Get off Facebook. Get off social media. Fast. Digital detox. Movement metabolizes your stress hormones. So the cortisol hormones that are so elevated and making things worse and making your heart beat faster and making you get a heart attack, those get metabolized really nicely and settle down when you move and work out. Tie in running as a practice, working out, exercise for you to help you with this political stress because it is impacting you one way or the another, whether you realize it or not. Have boundaries and maybe have a script for what you tell people because people are going to be like, whoa, why are you off social media? Why aren't you watching the news? What's wrong with you? And here you go feeling impacted like, oh man, they're going to tease me because I don't know anything. Or why are you putting in boundaries and have yourself a news window? What's up with you? So maybe you can practice what you'll say if you really care, because you don't owe nobody an explanation. But you could just say, I'm taking a break from political debates from my mental health. Yeah, because you got those people that want to debate about stuff. They just always want, well, what if this happened? What do you think about the Epstein files? What do you think about Trump? What do you think about that? And you're just like, I'm just taking a break from political debates for my mental health. I'm good. Thanks. If you don't want to talk about the next vegan dish, or if you don't want to talk about K-pop demon hunters, I'm good. Some things that just came to my mind. Whatever that's like. I like to talk about travel. Look, if If you don't want to talk about cruises, you want to talk about some politics right now, I'm good. That's not safe for my mental health. Or you can say, I care deeply and I'm protecting my peace right now. Or you can just say, let's talk about something else. This is going to make me feel better and bring my joy. This topic is straining me. It's draining me. You can say that to people. I mean, we're clearly in the sensitive era where we're allowed to say that now. So, yeah, it's normal to set your boundaries and not have guilt for it. Channel your anxiety into action. You got a lot of anxiety about this stress, about the politics, about what's happening about you, but you don't feel like you have control over. Anxiety without action feels like helplessness. You're literally helpless. Action without regulation is burnout. So, sure. Yeah, let's put our anxiety into action because we don't want to feel helpless, but you also want to regulate that action so you won't get burnt out. So, yeah, if you want to turn your anxiety into action, which is also advocacy, maybe support a cause somehow if you feel like that is going to help, donate, volunteer, vote. We're in the year of the down year. Everybody waits for that year to vote for the highest office, but it's really this year right now that counts so that you can get your party in the house. What am I trying to say? Yeah. Get them in the in the office so that when that big political year happens in another couple years, then maybe things will happen your way if that's what you want. Make a phone call. Who is your representative? Write a letter. Do something if you wish. That is how you can turn your anxiety into action as opposed to your anxiety into a rabbit hole of feeling worse and having panic attacks. So, this focused engagement is better than just being in a constant outrage. It's okay to stay informed without losing yourself. Losing yourself, drowning in the ocean of political stress and all this happening. Awareness doesn't mean you have to overconsume. Maybe there's 2 trusted sources that you use. A lot of people get their news from YouTube. I'm sorry, anybody can go onto YouTube. You're probably watching me on YouTube right now. Well, I'm not fake news, but there is a lot of fake news. So, whatever your trusted source is, go to it and use that. And you can be able to feel confident that what's going on is real and channel that and create boundaries, however way you receive that. Um, maybe you do spend some time during the week reading about it, about, from your trusted source or from an article that you might pop up on your phone, but you schedule that in so that you can get some updates that so that you can stay informed. So maybe not have those updates be hourly, but have those updates be weekly on your phone if you're able to control that and avoid these algorithm driven commentary loops. Again, my algorithm is about, well, it used to be, yeah, it's still about toddlers and parents of small children. It's so funny and hilarious. And then now it's like turning into running stuff, which is so dope because I obviously love running. So it's really fun and funny. I mean, I don't, yeah, I literally, my algorithm has nothing to do with politics. Change your algorithm. Your nervous system does not distinguish between a threat in your room and a threat in the screen. So that is why it is super important for you to channel your own self and control your own mind and how you receive it so that you are in control and that you are regulating your mindset. So, 3 simple questions to ask yourself for this daily reset. What did I consume today? How did it make me feel? And what do I need now? Reflect. Be aware of what's going on, but more so be aware of what's going on inside yourself and how you're responding to what's external. What did I consume today? How did it make me feel? And what do I need now? Your peace is not political, it's physiological. Clearly, there's a lot going on physiologically. You can stay engaged and stay regulated at the same time. No news cycle gets to your own nervous system. You can take the control back to something that feels uncontrollable. Thank you for listening and watching. This has been an Enjoy Life production. If you're in a crisis, don't hesitate. Call, text, or chat 988 for immediate support. Please note, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional treatment. If you're looking for therapy or medication management through Enjoy Life, visit www.drenjoylife.com to request a consultation. I'm licensed in 13 states. I accept Aetna in Georgia, Florida, and Virginia. Be sure to grab your copy of the Enjoy Note to help you on your wellness journey. Also check out Inspired Joy for the wife, mom, boss to help you balance it all without losing yourself. Better yet, get the full Joy bundle for just $45. Remember, Journey to Joy Live is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, may you continue to transform stress into joy.